We have just made the impossible happen inside of Fortnite Battle Royale. Every single NPC and boss are about to meet in today's video. You are not going to want to miss this. Let's jump into this. This is how I did it. So the first thing I did was actually recruit a bunch of my members to help me in today's video. We then had to form a plan. To do this, I looked at my old videos on how we made all of the old bosses meet, as well as the one we did previously this season where we made all the non-hostile NPCs meet. But I wanted to take it that extra step further, seeing that we got Human, Bill and Brutus added in the most recent update, as well as the addition of the Shadow and Ghost henchmen. It was time to find out what would happen when every single NPC would meet inside of Fortnite. Now the plan for today's video was to allocate everyone a set NPC to go and collect and bring over to Slurpy Swamps. You can see we circled all the different NPCs and managed to pick a spot inside of Slurpy. And that was actually inside of this pit you can see right here. The reason we chose this spot is because it didn't have any escape points once we destroyed the stairs, which will allow all the NPCs to stay there while we bring them all one by one. For some reason, 98% of you watching this video right now aren't subscribed, and we produce some of the most legit, real, extraordinary videos on Fortnite that you will not see anywhere else. So honestly guys, really consider tapping that subscribe and let's try and get to 500,000. Now when it came to getting all the NPCs together, there were a total of 22, including the IO guards and the trespasser, but that didn't include the random NPC spawns which actually spawned in the most recent update for the Slurp Splash NPCs. Unfortunately, Bush Ranger's written off and Bunker Jonesy because they don't both spawn in Battle Royale. And here we are, we've jumped straight into this guys. Don't forget though to comment down below your favourite NPC this season in Season 7 of Fortnite, and maybe with a little bit of luck, they will outlive all the other NPCs when we manage to get them to meet. The first thing I did was send over my team to all different UFO locations on the map, where I went towards Lazy and decided to grab some of the ones off the trespassers so I could use these. It was really important that every single member of my team had a UFO, and we only had a 4-hour time window to pull this off. It sounds a long time, but this sort of thing ain't easy. Moving every NPC to one spot is not something that the normal would do inside of Fortnite, so it's a pretty crazy challenge. But you can see, obviously, the trespassers are all inside of their UFOs, and we've got to knock them out. So a nice little impulse up here will send us up to this trespasser. There we are, land on it. Oh, almost. Come on, land on his ship. Okay, we're on his ship, and now what we're going to do is just shoot him out easily, and we'll take him out just like that. He goes down, and now we have his UFO. So there goes my UFO. I have mine. My team are also getting theirs, and now it was time to start moving the NPCs. The first one we decided to move was Sawmp Stalker. She was the closest one to the pit inside of Slurpy, because this pit is crucial to make all of the NPCs meet. You can see that we actually built kind of like a funnel over the pit as well, for allow us to kind of drop them in at a bit of a different height, so we didn't have to drop down too much. There she goes, nicely. Oh, just a little bit of a mix. Let's just quickly pick her up. Sawmp Stalker. All right, Sawmp Stalker team, let's get her in. And there goes our first NPC out of the lot. Next up was Human Bill. We already moved him from Steamy to here, so we didn't have that far to move him. So all we're going to do is just continue to move him over towards the Slurpy area and get in Human Bill. He was the furthest NPC we had to bring over, so we almost had him in. He just got knocked out of the ship there, so let's pick him up and move him over. We should be able to get him in nicely now, so let's pick him up and see if we can throw him inside of the pit. So there we are, Human Bill, let's move him over. There we go. In you go, Human Bill, just throw him in. Go on, land in, land in. Oh, he's gone really far for some reason. That was unlucky. Luckily, my team managed to pick him up, and they get to drop him in nicely. We have Human Bill. Time to move over to a different area and grab some more NPCs. So on our travels, we actually came across a few issues. We managed to find Maven, but for some reason, some of the NPCs actually now turn into trespassers. Sounds weird, right? Yeah, I'm not too sure why, but Maven was one of them. So some of these NPCs possibly cannot be used for this video just yet, unless they remove this update. You can see when we shot Maven, she turned into a trespasser, which was not supposed to happen, and there was nothing I could do about this. This also happened to Sunny as well as Hayseed in today's video, so unfortunately they won't be making it to the final NPC battles because we already have a trespasser. I have no control over this. It also did happen to Abstrakt as well over at retail. After 1 hour and a half and 2 weeks of attempting this video and planning, we managed to finally get the all non-hostile NPCs inside of the pit. Now, the plan was ready to go. It was time to cover the pit to keep them safe while we go and grab the hostile NPCs, and also we did find a few extra NPCs, the ones that throw the chug splashes down. That was Kyle and also Wreck Raider. So yeah, kind of an addition there, 2 extra NPCs added, which kind of replaced the ones that did turn into the trespassers. So we were set to go. We already had the hostile ones ready to be moved, and we had them in position ready to go. This took about another 15 minutes to add on to that timer. We got all these ready, and you can see we had the trespasser here. We had my team bringing over Dr. Slone. We also had an IO IO guard over there. We had everything being brought in. I dropped the Trespasser straight in, and now it's time to grab Dr. Slone. My team managed to grab her nicely, and we also even have Guggimon. We have Riot. We have so many right now, guys. This is the ultimate time for all of these bosses to meet, guys. As always, though, do remember, guys, tap a like on today's video. This has took weeks worth of planning. Let's try and get over 20,000 likes, guys, quickly. Everyone smash that like button. Let's try and get over 20,000 because we are almost about to begin the battle and see what happens when all of these NPCs in the entire Fortnite map meet for the first ever time. Let's go, guys, and check this out. Let's switch over to the replay. And it begins, guys. In this corner here, we've got Beach Brutus, Joey, and Rec Raider chilling over here. And on this side over here, we've got the man himself, Rick, as well as Human Bill and Rook. And then over through the inside, we've got Kyle, we've got MariGold. We've even got Ghost and Shadow over here, as well as Special Forces. And then to his right, we have Sawmp, Stalker, and it was time to begin the battle. Okay, so first off, we dropped in all the NPCs, and the first one to be dropped in for hostile NPCs was the Trespasser. Now the Trespasser had been dropped in, it was time to drop in the other hostile NPCs, who was Guggimon and Dr. Slone. They got dropped in straight after, and now you can see what is about to happen when all of the NPCs in the game are about to meet. You can see Dr. Slone going to the back over there. We've even got Guggimon in the front over here. IO guard gets dropped straight after in on this right side here. You've even got the Trespasser as well, aiming still on the UFOs. IO guard and Guggimon go straight into combat against each other. Dr. Slone still targeted on some of the UFOs in the sky. Slone moving up a little bit. Trespasser still aiming on us. You can see a lot of the other NPCs are still pretty passive at the minute. They have not been engaged in the combat just yet. Not until the hostiles decide to shoot them. We've got Riot dropping in on this side over here. Riot drops in, and you can see Dr. Slone moving into this corner over here. Riot moving past Doctor. Doctor still target on the UFOs. Doctor's very close in the corner now with Rick and that. This is interesting. Switching straight back over to the Trespasser, you can see he's still target on the human players. Riot moving up on the left, gets stuck on MariGold there. Will she get triggered by Riot? I'm not too sure yet. You can even see the combat going on right here between Guggimon and even the IO, and it looks like the MariGold has been triggered on the left side by Dr. Slone. We're gonna have to switch over to that. Dr. Slone here in on this. You can see Slone has actually triggered a bunch of the NPCs on this left side. We've got Kyle in the action, we've got MariGold, we've even got Rook as well, supporting with Slone there, teaming up there on Kyle and MariGold on this left side over here. But why this is going on, guys, we've got to see what's going over on the other side, because there's actually more battles going ahead over here, because you can see Trespasser actually manages to beam these Shadow and Ghost henchmen, so they get kicked into action on that back side over there with Special Forces. And you can see there's even a battle taking place right now between Guggimon and the IO guard. You can see a 1v1 situation battling it out between these two. This is really interesting. No other NPCs are getting engaged. All bosses are joining on the battle right here. So this is a crazy battle between these two. I can't believe what's actually happening. Trespasser beaming in, but actually hitting Guggimon there a little bit. You can still see IO and the Guggimon are still battling out. MariGold also helping out Guggimon there a little bit. And the IO guard goes down from Guggimon on that right side. But you can see Trespasser actually triggers this box even further. Over on this side in the box, you can see we've got Shadow, Ghost, everything going crazy. We've got Riot and Special Forces aiming out. We've got Ghost Henchman going for Special Forces right there. This is really interesting. Ghost Henchman is fully focused on Special Forces right there. Interestingly enough, it looks like Riot and Special Forces are actually blocking the fire from the Trespasser coming in on Ghost and Shadow, which is confusing the NPCs on who to actually target on. You can see Ghost and Shadow are going for Special Forces now. They've double teamed on Special Forces. Special Forces is taking a little bit of damage, getting beamed in from the Trespasser. You can still see Riot's also beaming out as well, trying to beam at the Trespasser, and the Special Forces does go down to the Ghost Henchman right there. That was a pretty good elimination, and even Riot goes down to Ghost right there. That's a double elim coming in from Ghost Henchman. While this was taking place, you can see Dr. Slone was also in combat with the MariGold and the Kyle skin right here. Kyle does get taken out by the Dr. Slone right now, and also one of our players who accidentally fell in the pit gets taken out there by Dr. Slone. As this was going ahead, you can see the Trespasser was still in combat with Guggimon. We've got to keep track of what happened to Guggimon. You can see the fight between these two was pretty big. We had MariGold in here, we had Guggimon. Trespasser was trying to hit and actually manages to take out Guggimon right there, and the fight between these continues to go on. We've got Riot in here, who did get eliminated by the Ghost Henchman as well before, so what a lovely elimination that was. And you can see, obviously, transitioning back over to here, Guggimon went down, and the Trespassers decided to try and target MariGold, but then suddenly switches straight over to the Shadow Henchman, because Shadow Henchman actually gets a lovely shot in on Trespasser to try and finish him off for the elimination. You can see Shadow Henchman still beaming down the Trespasser the best he can. Trespasser taking a little bit of damage. Shadow does no longer have shield either, so the combat between these is pretty crazy, and Shadow gets a lovely elimination there, coming in on the Trespasser. So while this was taking place, place, obviously Dr. Slone was still in the action with MariGold right here, and Slone was trying her best to take out the MariGold skin. You see, obviously Trespasser does get eliminated by Shadow before, but the combat between MariGold and Dr. Slone is really crazy. This is really important for the battle between these two. Who is going to win between these two? They're both pretty crap, and Dr. Slone gets a lovely shot in there on MariGold. Now, while this was taking place, we haven't seen much action from Rick and Human Bill, but Human Bill just decides, you know what, he's taking out Rook right there, and Rook just goes straight down. Human Bill and Rick are completely chilling in their corner right now. This is pretty crazy. Rick and Human Bill are in that corner. They're actually lasering on Doctor right here. Doctor takes a little turn to her stance and decides to laser in on Human Bill, and Rick's actually beaming out but completely missing his shots. Dr. Slone also targeting on here. It looks like Rick has actually turned to against the actual Human Bill. This is pretty crazy. Watch this turn from Rick right here. He decides, you know what, Bill, you're going down. He goes for Human Bill. Rick does not care at all. He wants this alien taken out. And you see the 1v1's taking place right here. Why Dr. Slone is actually beaming in with her pulse rifle. This is crazy. You see that is an insane elimination there from Bill coming in on Rick. So Rick does get taken out by Bill. Bill and Slone taking it on a 1v1 right here. This is a pretty crazy situation. We've still even got Beach Brutus and so many more to come, guys. For those wondering about Guggimon right here or Riot, basically they come back as ghost form, and for some reason when they go in ghost form in the replay, they still show as their human form. So just imagine they're in ghost form. They aren't doing anything. They're invisible. Bullets will fly through them. So don't worry, guys. You don't need to worry about Guggimon or Riot. They've already been eliminated. You can see in this combat between these two right here, we've actually got Human Bill and Doctor taking it on for a 1v1 situation. This is a really crucial fight, and oh wow, Human Bill takes out the Doctor right there. One elimination coming in from the Human Bill. And you can see over in this corner right here, we've still got Shadow and Ghost chilling over here with a ghost form Riot, and even Sawmp Stalker is still alive in that corner. Now, we haven't heard much from Wreck Raider, but it looks like he decided to randomly get in combat with Beach Brutus in this corner. Wreck Raider absolutely going crazy here, and he gets us taken down instantly. He's only one of them NPCs that throw down chug splashes to heal you, so he's not that powerful. You see Beach Brutus and Joey up on this left side over here, trying to move up on Human Bill. Human Bill chilling still in the corner, just emoting. And you see over on this side as well, we've actually got Ghost Henchman who decided to start beaming in on Joey and Brutus. And with the Ghost Henchman's God aim, he actually manages to take out Joey there. What an elimination again coming in from Ghost Henchman. You see Shadow and Ghost are still alive over here, and Brutus is actually rotated over to the right to try and get revenge for Joey. You can see obviously in this corner we have the actual Sawmp Stalker, Brutus, Ghost and Shadow Henchman. They're all chilling right here. Brutus decides to go into his talk mode. I don't know who he's trying to talk to right here, but what is he doing? He's just taking easy shots coming in from Sawmp Stalker, and now he decides, you know what, I'm getting revenge for you, Sawmp Stalker. He's beaming down on Sawmp Stalker and trying his best to eliminate her. We are actually keeping impulsing these in this situation because they keep walking back to that corner. So I'm trying my best to keep Brutus in the combat right here for you guys. So you can see Brutus is actually beaming down on Sawmp Stalker. A few shots coming in there. Even Shadow decides to team with his old friend Brutus and manages to help them take out Sawmp Stalker right there. But no, Brutus gets straight revenge and takes down that Shadow Henchman straight off the bat. Now it's a 1v1 situation between Ghost and Brutus right here. This is the final showdown between these two, as well as Human Bill over here, who's just completely chilling. No idea what he's doing. You can see obviously the 1v1 situation now between Brutus and Ghost Henchman. What is Brutus doing? Why is he gone into talk mode? Why is he doing this? It's because there's so many NPCs, guys. The game is just completely glitching out entirely. You can see Ghost is actually now beaming down on Brutus at this distance. This is the 1v1. Ghost still has shield in this situation. Brutus is still beaming in but getting 30s. Ghost only getting 23 there. Brutus does go around the corner over there. We managed to impulse him out, but for some reason once we got Brutus out, he went into talk mode again. So this gives Ghost the opportunity to try and beam down on Brutus. You can see Brutus does get taken out by Ghost right there. What an elimination coming in for Ghost. And Human Bill does decide to move up with an impulse, but strangely enough, he just glitches through the wall and completely evaporates. Really weird outcome, which leads the only standing left NPC not in ghost form to be Ghost Henchman. Kind of a coincidence, right? All three ghosts left standing, I guess. But this has been the craziest boss battle video we have ever done on the channel, and it's taken over 2 weeks worth of planning to pull this together for you guys. So if you aren't subscribed and you're part of that 98% that aren't subscribed, tap the subscribe button and support legit content here on YouTube. It's hard to find these days, so if you want to support some really cool content that's not fake, you're at your #1 place. Thank you anyone considering to tap that subscribe. And if you haven't yet played my race map in Fortnite, head over to Creative, head over to the Discovery tab and go over to the Vehicle section, and you'll find a map called Canyon Racetrack. Give it a go. It's a map made by me. Don't forget to check the other videos out on screen right now to enjoy some other incredible boss battles. You will not want to miss some of these.